Hello guys, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. My name is Negacious. How is it going? In the last episode we got back from Shizune's house and left that jerk of a dad, Mr. Buff McGee, Jigoro, behind. And we got back to school, got some rest, and we had a decently long talk with Kenji, and he was actually being reasonable. He was talking about his ex-girlfriend, and we were talking about Iwanako, who we had just gotten a letter from actually. And we finished the talk with Kenji. This was actually a really nice talk with him. It was, there were some good points in there. Sorry. And we went to town to get something to eat, and we were coming back, and we stumbled onto this photo. I kind of left it on a, on a hanger, on a cliffhanger. Last time leaving it on this photo, but come on, look at it. It's Misha, and she's obviously sad on something. And this is the episode. I didn't disclaim this last time, but this episode and the episodes onward from this will most likely address Misha's part and take on this whole situation, and I'm really scared to go into it because I mean, Misha is an awesome character, and she has that bubbly feeling to it, and she's supported Shizune like through all these years. But she hasn't been like, obviously she hasn't been like, she isn't the center character in my and Shizune's like love life and like us being girlfriend and boyfriend. And I'm afraid that Misha is going to take on like a really, I don't want to say antagonistic, but a really like a sad state of affairs to our situation, and I'm really scared to like go through it because I like Misha. I don't want her to be heartbroken. And this picture tells that it's going to be quite the contrary. So let's go. On the way back there, I stumble across Misha sitting down behind the main building. Her eyes are closed in sleep, and she looks very tranquil. It's always been hard to picture her not constantly bouncing around, or hopping on the tips of her toes impatiently. My first instinct is to call out to her and ask her if she has seen Shizune, or if she wants to go to town with me. But now that I've seen her, I don't feel like disturbing her. I leave her alone. Oh, come on. And now I get a fucking... Come on! Okay, that would have been a perfect place to leave off the episode, but fine. For the first few days after I was back, I almost forgot that I was in the student council. I managed to pick up here and there what the student council usually gets swamped with work around the end of the break, but it didn't have to be the case. The few times when I managed to catch Shizune or Misha, they were in too much of a hurry for me to get a chance to ask if they needed help. Anytime they weren't, I'd only be able to get a hold of Misha. Shizune would say something about how there was work, but it was so little that involving either Misha or I would only bore us. After a while, the idea of having some free time again had started to grow on me. Though there were still periods when I felt like I had too much of it. Just when I was getting used to it, though, things changed again. Now I find myself back in the student council room, arguing with Shizune about whether tissue boxes make good below boxes or not. I'm telling you they work just fine as long as we get the cube-shaped ones, not the rectangular ones. Misha, can you sign that to her? I've got my hands full. On second thought, forget it. She's busy cutting out bellow slips, so if she were to make one errant movement, she would probably send those scissors flying into someone's head. I dropped the box of poster paints I'm carrying onto my little table in the student council room and cough as a wave of dust hits me in the face. It really has been a while. Do you think we should change the size of the bellow slips? What? But Shi-chan, I already cut out so many of them! We can make them smaller. It'll be more efficient. We just have to shirk the font. More bellows will fit in a single box that way. We'll only need half the amount of paper then. The format for voting can be changed. It could be more like a real election. We might be able to get away with buying less boxes. With the money left over, we can get a pizza, or maybe Chinese, or cake, or 3 bowls of the new ramen bowl I want to try. Shizune rubs a finger along the frame of her glasses as she ponders more ways to cut even a half yen of spending off of our budget. Since I think she's the only one who even knows what our budget is, I'm scared to ask, just how tiny is it for her to have to do this? What about all the below slips Misha already cut out? Don't worry. I can make them into memo pads and sell them in the school store. Shi-chan, they don't look very cute though. Shizune seems to disagree. Now they're arguing, but it looks like it consists of nothing more than signing yes they do and no they don't at each other until they're so tired of it they're just taking turns pointing at each other commandingly. It's strange, partly because it looks kind of ridiculous, but also because I've never seen them disagree. Then again, both of them have looked very stressed these past few days. I'm gonna cough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I started fidgeting the mute button on my mic, and I accidentally turned it back on after I turned it off. I'm so sorry for that ear rape. Jesus Christ. Shizune has been increasingly absorbed in the idea of student council elections, though they're months away. I imagine this is how politicians act when they realize a regime change is imminent and their era is over. I'm having trouble taking student council matters seriously at all, even now, as I practice my calligraphy on signs that won't go up for weeks, but I can understand why Shizune does. After all, she has been the student council's president for 3 years. According to her dad, she has wanted the job for even longer. I guess 3 years is too short a career for her to leave feeling satisfied. Did the last student council go through this much trouble to make it a smooth transition for you? Shizune only makes a chagrined face that tells me they weren't very helpful at all. I guess you're doing all this to set a good example then? That only comes into play if they learn anything from it, Hichan. If they don't, I'll be hyper mad. If they turn out to be the flaky type, I'll definitely be hard on them. It doesn't sound very threatening when Misha is saying it. So, you've already met them? Ha ha ha! Hichan, there are no candidates yet. What? None? Not even for student council president. That is why I'm trying to drum up interest for the position. What do you think? She proudly holds up a poster she has been working on herself. It looks very, military. You might be taking this a little too seriously then. Shizune frowns and plays with her glasses, offended. Is that weird? Yes. She looks oddly happy that I'm disagreeing with her, and I think that if she weren't genuinely focused on what she was doing, she would try to argue with me just because it would be interesting to her. What's weird about it? It looks like she will do that after all. But then, Shizune waves her hand dismissively, like she's trying to catch the words in the air and delete them. Instead, she catapults into insulting her future successors. Well, one thing that's weird that in my old school the elections would happen in about 6 months, since, you know, we're graduating in March. It's pretty weird to think about them so early. It's a little different here. Hichan, I'll be discouraged if we don't have any replacements when I have to go, Hichan says. But it isn't like the school will stop running without a student council. It'll be harder for them to hand out forms, though. Shizune isn't laughing, however. Misha's joke causes her to flinch, as if she were stung. Though Misha didn't mean for it to come out that way, her quip had a callous cruelty to it in the end. I'm trying to get more people to run, but everyone is so lazy. They think they can take it easy just because there are no deadlines yet. Slackers, not taking the early game advantage. Still 6 months away. If they aren't making their move now, they don't deserve the vote. A vote, sorry. Do they really think it's such an easy job that they can really do everything at the last minute, just coast into the role? Insulting, really. They're going to be eaten alive once they have to sit at this tiny desk and see just how much work they have to do. If this were a real election, they would be in deep trouble. I was reading about Japanese campaigning laws the other day. Only the bad ones, for some reason. For some reason. For a second, Shizune was talking like her father there, and it was coming out of Misha's mouth. Creepy. Well, first off, Shadow Shogun, you really can't make that call. They'll be elected. Second, it's just a school election. It's not like we're running for city council or the diet. I don't think the Japanese campaigning laws apply. Third, although I don't want to say it, I'm nervous that Shizune is so enthusiastic about this, talking of elections and votes. According to her dad, she wasn't even elected herself. Come to think of it, I can't remember Shizune ever saying she was elected either. Then, did she get this position by being recruited into the student council and having it fall apart until she was the only one left? Somehow I'd never considered it. I don't know what to think about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. We're only 3 people strong now. If the circumstances behind her becoming the student council president were that sad, I wonder if there will be a vote at all. Interest could just be that low, or non-existent really. Then all her energy would be going towards nothing. I slap an exclamation mark on the poster I'm working on. It's a little plain, so I think adding 1 is okay. Actually, it still might be a little too plain. I make the mark twice as large. I still say you need to slow down. If this stuff isn't going to be relevant for months, maybe you're working a little too hard on it. That's what I think. You're worrying too much. I don't know how to sign the word relevant. I try and only end up flicking a long line of paint where I didn't intend to. There's no way I can fix that. Misha, can you ask her that? Shizune giggles silently, clenching her teeth so that no sound actually comes out. Because there's a lot to worry about. Like what? Like, usually the boxes end up looking very pretty, so people take them. Have to plan for that. Wahaha! We should make them funny looking this time, so no one will take them. How about that, Shichan? We can draw some weird faces on them, or we can put a little picture of Shizune on each one saying, stealing is wrong. No, it's not funny. It's not the only problem either. There is voter turnout, of course. And the worst case scenario would be not having any candidates. Although it seems she meant it jokingly, from the way she smiles as she signs it, that isn't how it comes out. Even Misha understands that the possibility is very real, and though she tries to salvage the mood by punctuating Shizune's statement with a laugh, it doesn't work. What is wrong with the both of you? I was just making a joke. There actually is some interest this year. If there wasn't, would I be doing all this work? I'm not stupid. When the elections are over, I'll buy everyone dinner. I'm already planning it. Even the new student council? No, they can buy their own celebration dinner. It will only be for the current student council. I'll be happy once I'm through having to do these thankless jobs all the time. A dinner just for us? Yay! It's like a little party, Shichan! Though her cheerfulness is obviously forced, I say nothing. For the rest of the period, which fortunately isn't very long, we work in silence. After classes, I find the student council room locked. It's strange, because Shizune was so busy earlier that I would expect her to continue working after school. It would be what she normally would do. Maybe she listened to my suggestion and decided to take a break. I'm hoping it's that simple. Feeling a little uneasy, I take a brief stroll around the school. It's only half conscious. I can't remember when I started moving my feet, but I've already covered enough of the campus that I'm starting to feel tired. Not that that means anything now. Just a short stroll around the school grounds and I'm already winded. Really pathetic. Before I know it, I'm back in front of the student council office. There's someone else too, this time. It's Misha! Hi, Hichan! It's locked. Seeing a can of lemonade in her hand, I reflexively start looking for a vending machine nearby. I'm so thirsty. I know that, Hichan! Shichan is somewhere else, I guess! Weird. We aren't stuck together, Hichan! Misha takes a long drink from her lemonade, eventually just tipping it over and pouring the rest into her mouth. I feel like I'm being mocked. Do you want one, Hichan? No, it's okay. I can't take someone else's drink, it's rude. Besides, you're making fun of me, aren't you? I just saw you inhale all of that. I have another one in my bag! I was prepared, see? I'm just like Shichan! She's a little too prepared. It's good some of that is rubbing off on you anyway. After, what, 2 years? The way she stares at me as I drink it is a little disconcerting, but I'm too grateful to care much about it. You and Shizune always end up treating me to something. It's starting to embarrass me. Really, Hichan? Buy me lunch sometime then, okay? Then we'll be even. Well, it's funny you should say that. I was going to ask you if you wanted to eat in town. Yeah, I'm really hungry today, Hichan. Thanks. Yesterday. I was going to ask her yesterday. Misha cuts me off before I can finish the sentence, and I can't find an opening to correct her as she dashes enthusiastically around me, laughing, her arms flapping excitedly at her sides. I already have my wallet with me, so I start walking towards town with Misha trailing behind me, playing idly with her hands and loudly wondering to herself where we should go eat. At least, I think so. She could be asking me. Do you have anywhere specific where you want to go? I want to go to the tea house. They have a really big parfait there. I saw you eat a parfait there last time. It looked really big. No. This one is really, really big. It's also really expensive. Really, really expensive? A little. Jeez, well, you and Shizune paid for my food a bunch of times, so it's fine. Shichan? I'm so used to Misha saying Shichan. Hichan? I don't think I ever did that. Are you sure it wasn't just Shichan? Are you really arguing against a free meal? Don't worry about it. We go to the Shanghai and are seated by a waitress who is surprisingly not Yuko. Misha is very eager to eat that parfait because she shouts her order as soon as she walks through the door. When it arrives, I can see that it's both very big and very expensive looking. Aren't you going to order anything, Hichan? If you're hungry, we can share. Nah, I don't like parfaits. I don't like pralin. Pralin? Pralin? What is that word? I don't like praline. Yeah. You can pick it out! You can't just pick out pralin. Don't be silly. Even if I could, Misha is mashing her food together to the point where it's no longer possible. It also looks kinda gross. I wonder if that many flavors even blend together well. Can she really taste anything in that goop? She's acting like it's delicious anyway.
Parfaits are the best! I have sensitive teeth, so ice cream is a no-no. Cake is too soft though, and there is too much icing. I get bored. Parfait is interesting. How many cafes have parfaits here? I think 10. I've tried them all. I like this one the best. It has a little flan.
You sound like you're some kind of dessert expert.
Not just dessert. I want to eat all kinds of delicious things. Someday I'll have enough money to buy a 2-kilogram Matsusaka beef steak.
That's like over 100,000 yen. I guess this kind of decadent food is kind of your hobby then, huh? A hobby isn't something that should take months to learn about someone. I've been very rude in retrospect. Also, that's one pricey hobby.
I guess so. Decadent?
Yeah. Misha giggles, raising her hand to her face. It looks like some ice cream accidentally got on her nose. She doesn't notice it. I can't stop noticing it. I wish she would wipe it off. I'm about to tell her about it, but she suddenly says,
I don't know what that means.
Oh, I guess it's a bad word anyway. It has implications. Epicurean is better. It means someone who enjoys eating nice food. That's the adjective though. So, epicure is the word for it.
Wahaha! Hichan, you're too wordy.
I mean, I have Laudator level English and, like, I can't even... Well, English isn't my native language, so it's natural, like, I don't recognize some of these words, but Jesus Christ, there are some complicated words in here. My English is like C1 or B2. I can't... C1, probably, or B2 or 3, something like that. Sorry.
I think that is what Shichan likes about you.
Because I'm wordy? I need to buy some thesauruses then.
No, not like that, Hichan.
I decided to order some coffee after all, but it takes a while to get the waitress to notice, and I think getting my coffee will take about as long. The tea shop is filling up. No surprise, as we've already been here for almost an hour while she was chipping at that dessert. I order my coffee to go, but Misha orders one as well, so it seems like we're going to be here longer than I thought. I really wish it was that easy. It's hard to talk to her lately.
Shichan's been busy because of the elections.
I know we can't have fun all the time. It's just that there's a lot I want to say to her. I think. I always screw up when the time comes though. And I don't even have the time now because of the elections. They're not for a while though.
Hichan, do you think Shichan is avoiding you?
Misha sounds angry. That's to be expected, but I don't feel that way at all. No.
Is that so?
The dreamy way in which she says it makes me think that Misha is disappointed with my answer. In that case, it could be how she feels. I'm uneasy asking such a question, but I trust Misha would answer it honestly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dream of it. Do you?
No, of course not, Hichan. But it's frustrating sometimes. Shichan has so much energy and she is always trying to make people feel as excited about things as she is. But it's like Shichan doesn't know how to handle things when everyone gets really hyped up. Or I think that she wants to make sure nothing goes wrong. When I want to help out, Shichan always pushes me away. It's frustrating. I'm just overthinking it probably, right?
Misha takes a big gulp from her coffee, and then sticks her tongue out.
Ow! Hot, 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 hot! I thought it would have cooled down by now.
Has it really been that long? I check my watch. It hasn't been very long at all, but looking outside, the sun is already starting to set. Not really. Huh, it got dark pretty quickly today, though, so I could understand why you might think that. At my words, Misha looks outside and yawns almost immediately. She looks sleepy. That's funny because... Are you sleepy? You were wide awake like 2 seconds ago.
I feel tired when it gets dark, Hichan.
Just like that? Are you a bird? I pick up my own coffee and have a sip. It's not very hot at all, but very tasty. I down it as quickly as possible, because now I want to get back to my dorm room as well. Misha tries to emulate me, but it's still too hot for her. While I wait for her to finish, I start to wonder what she meant back then about Shizune liking something about me. Suddenly, I'm very curious, but dragging that back up now feels like an unnecessary action. I try to weigh the option again, but am interrupted by Misha slamming her empty cardboard cup on the table with a loud pop.
Done!
She lets out a short laugh, seemingly very pleased with herself, kind of like a toddler. I wonder if she had that drill-shaped haircut when she was little too, or was it something more than her current look? It would make more sense. I guess we should head back then. I don't see the waitress. Try not to fall asleep while I pay for the sundae, okay?
Not a sundae, it's a parfait, Hichan.
You have ice cream on your nose. Okay guys, that is where we are going to drop off this episode of Katawa Shoujo. That was more like a setup episode again, because like come on. I don't want, like, I want to hear Misha's backstory, but I'm so scared, like, on what, for some reason I'm scared on what it'll reveal, because we know very little about her. Like, we know, like, astoundingly little about her. And the focus is, like, clearly shifting on towards, like, her side. So it's interesting. It's piqued my interest. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this episode. If you liked the episode, you can drop a comment down below to show your appreciation. Any feedback, any criticism, any banter is welcome. You can also drop a like by clicking the like button. I appreciate your appreciation. If you want to make sure that my videos end up in your sub box the moment... God dang it. Dropping pens all over the place. If you want to make sure that my videos get into your sub box the moment they come online, make sure to click the subscribe button right below the video, and click the bell button as well next to the subscribe button to make doubly sure that the videos will be there. My name is Negacious, and thank you for watching. Bye.